Hello and good morning and welcome to a new trip report here on Bongoplanes. We are in Munich, as you might recognize. We are on our way to the security checks. Today we will be flying with Swiss International Airlines to Geneva. Of course, there's a lot of information that I promise you I will give to you, but that a little bit later, probably when we are on our way to the aircraft after we've gone through the security checks. And as there's still some time before we have to leave, I'll probably try to head into the lounge and hopefully I can show you around there as well. And then, as I promised, I will give you all the necessary information about our flight today. But for now, let's see. There's a bit of queue, it's not too bad. Normally it's quite, well, it can be quite fast at Munich. And the good thing here is that just around the corner there is actually also an entrance for first and business class, so that's basically the priority lane, so then it will go even quicker. So I'm heading over there. I can't really film here, so see you on the other side. So we are on the other side and I can already see we have already one change. Now on my boarding pass it was scheduled that we had the gate K8, which I believe would be in the satellite terminal, but I can see now here on the screen that it showed me that the gate is now G43, which is here in main terminal 2. So that means less walking basically. Unfortunately we won't get to the satellite terminal then. Would have been nice because there's also a lounge over there, which I've never tried, but maybe another time. But anyway, so nice car. Well, anyway, we are on our way now to the lounges. We still have some time and I can get some breakfast. That would be nice. So yeah, Munich airport is a great airport. There's plenty of shops, but in general it's just a really efficient airport. That's why I really like it, because it's quick to get in and out, it's quick to go around. Connection airport wise, it's also really excellent. And it's no wonder that it's really been voted to be probably Europe's best airport for a couple of years now. Another nice car, Audi Q2. Anyway, so yeah, we're just around the corner here with the lounge. I will see you inside. So, as you can see, the lounge, the business lounge of Lufthansa is actually quite big here in Munich. Obviously, it's their secondary hub, so they get a lot of frequent travelers. And I had a nice breakfast. But anyway, the most important part is, of course, now we're on our way to our plane. And this is the time where I would normally give you all the information necessary, so why not just do that? So, as mentioned, we are flying today on a Swiss International Airlines Avrojet 100, also known as the Jumbolino, and of course, my favorite aircraft type. We are scheduled on flight LX 1123 from Munich directly to Geneva. And as mentioned, we will be heading to gate G43. Our scheduled boarding time is 11:10, which means our scheduled departure time is 11:40, and we will be seated in seat 15F. Now that's all about the flight so far. So as mentioned, we are heading towards the gate now. I will speed this up and then we will talk again once we are on the aircraft. Welcome on board LX 1123 from Munich to Geneva. As you can see, we are already in our seat 15F. So boarding itself went pretty smoothly, no problems there. We have an apron position, that meant we were brought here by bus. Very short drive, for about maybe 2 minutes. Very short because basically this apron position is just located behind the main terminal building 2 on the south pier of Terminal 2. So it's really close to from our gate. So as you can see, pushback has just started. We were heading out to one of the 2 runways that Munich Airport has. Which one exactly, I'm not quite sure yet. We will talk about that, of course, once we get closer to Geneva, and then at the end of the video, as always, there will be a summary of the entire trip, where I will also give a final score. So see you in a little while, as I said, once we are heading into Geneva. So welcome back. We are still on flight LX 1123 from Munich to Geneva. Now we are already descending in towards Geneva Airport, so it is time to talk about today's flight. So we did take off from runway 26 left, shortened at Munich, headed straight west, basically alongside the Alps towards Konstanz and Friedrichshafen. And then we did a slight turn towards south, and then again alongside the Alps over Bern, and now we are heading into Geneva. Now, given that we are already descending, I'm pretty sure that we will come in from this side, so basically from north and heading south, and that would mean that we will be landing at runway 23 in Geneva Airport, but I can't confirm that yet, but this is my guess. If it should change, of course, I will update you once we've landed. But let's quickly talk about the flight itself. So the flight itself was actually pretty decent. Nothing really dramatic to report. The flight crew, the cabin crew was alright, although I would say it's kind of 50-50. One cabin crew member seemed to enjoy his work today. The other one seemed a bit grumpy, so that was a bit strange, especially because I'm not really used to seeing that on a Swiss International Airlines flight. But I guess we can all have a bad day. But anyway, other than that, the flight was really pretty standard, although really good standard for Swiss International Airlines, and pretty nice flight. A quick word maybe to the comfort. So the chairs are, I mean, they're not super comfy for short range flights like this. It's perfectly fine. They're pretty much the same as you can find on Lufthansa flights if you've ever tried that. For the legs, you have about 3 fingers. Well, I have about 3 fingers space between my knee and the seat in front of me, which is quite alright, again, given the flight. We're flying about 50 minutes, just under an hour, I think. So for that, it's perfectly fine. If you had to fly like 3 or 4 hours, I think it would be a bit cramped and the seats would be a bit too hard. But other than that, it's perfectly fine. So I will speed the rest of the landing procedure up, and then we will assess the landing and say our final words and the final assessment once we are on the ground. Now that was a great landing, right on the spot, really smooth, superb flying. Welcome to Geneva. We are now heading in towards the terminals. Given that we are flying on an AmfraJet 100, the chances that we have an apron position are quite large. In this case, of course, we will be brought into the terminal by bus, or we will see in a few minutes. I will speed this up and then we will talk again once we are on the terminal, and then I will give my final assessment of today's trip. So we've gotten off the bus just now and are heading into the terminal of Geneva Airport. Now this is really it for this trip. Now of course it's time for the final assessment of today's trip. Now today's trip will be rated on the following criteria: departure airport, lounge, boarding, flight and arrival airport. Now departure airport is Munich airport, and here everything went just right. No problems whatsoever. You got everything you want from an airport: efficiency, efficiency and efficiency. The lounge was also really nice, not too crowded today. The boarding went really smoothly as well, no problems there. The flight itself was pretty decent. I'd say the only negative point was this one grumpy flight attendant. But when you looked at the other flight attendant and saw how much he enjoyed the flight, it was kind of okay. And then of course the arrival airport, we have Geneva Airport. I'd say the only thing that is maybe a little negative point is that we had to go again on an apron position with the bus, which takes a bit longer. But other than that, there's really nothing negative to report about that. And it's just because I would prefer to go directly to the terminal without having to go on the bus. But that's all. So there's really not much negative to say about that. And that leaves us with a really decent, really good score for today's flight. Now with that, we've reached the end of today's trip report. I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you very much for traveling with me, and if you have stuck around until the end of the video, kudos for that. I hope to see you on another trip very soon. Now until then, I would like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.